as I was saying, Joy Taylor, every dog has its day. And since I'm a big dog, I've got 2 days.
Okay.
So now.
You just called yourself a dog?
Yeah, I'm a dog. Yeah, I'm a big dog, a big one.
Kevin Durant is 6'11", who can pull up from 40.
Okay.
This brother is on that level. I'm talking about offensively.
Do you think you're better than Darrelle Revis is right now?
I'm better than you.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mark Brown. Back with another episode. I know it's been a while, and I have a special guest with me. Welcome to the Lowdown / Mark Brown Show on YouTube, Lowdown Podcast on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. And joined by me is Senora Scott. And Senora, go ahead and introduce yourself real quick.
Hey, everybody. I'm Senora Scott. Happy to be here. I'm a coworker of Mark's and now friend, now guest on your podcast and show.
Yep. I mean, I consider her a big-time guest because she's done a lot, and I've learned a lot from her, so here you go.
He's too nice.
Hey, that's better than not being nice, and I'm not taking a shot at Party Next Door. That's a whole different meaning. But all right. Anyway, so today it is December 30th, and we're just a couple days, really less than a couple days away from the new year. It's almost 2021, so that means that all the uncertainty that's happened, knowing that Senora is a journalist. And you've been doing this for how long now?
So about 9.5 years. May it'll be 10 years because I started right as I graduated college.
Oh, wow. I would have never guessed it's been that long, but...
Yeah, I'm old.
Not really. I mean, if you want to see old, look at Morgan Freeman. But anyway, I'm just joking. Black doesn't crack. But anyway. So knowing that you've been a journalist for 10 years...
Yeah.
How did 2020 impact you as a journalist? Because I know this year is just filled with a lot of bad news, and it just seemed like it outweighed the good news.
Yeah. I don't really know where to begin. I mean, you kind of said it, the uncertainty. I mean, our job is kind of all about uncertainty. You really never know what's going to happen on a given day. News can break, and you can be at, 5 different things before the day ends. But this was just... I guess we have never run across, or at least I have never run across anything like this. Something that basically overtook the entire world. And just figuring out how to do our jobs, with all these rules and regulations and try to get the best information out. But we don't know what that information is, because... the doctors didn't know, the people didn't know, nobody knew. And so trying to relay that was just something I'd never run into before. Well,
I mean, from the time I've been here, a little bit over a year now, my observations, it didn't look like you had any issues because, but here's the part where it got tricky because the first 3 months of 2020 was completely normal. You had, January rolled around, and then, actually, no, not really, because I remember it was World War III almost happened. But, yeah, I guess that, and then RIP to Kobe Bryant and his daughter, and the 7 others that perished in that helicopter accident. Mm-hmm. So you had those events, and then we did rodeo. Now, that's another thing. The San Angelo Stock Show and rodeo is really big down here. And she's actually a rodeo correspondent, so I got a chance to see her do live shots and stuff like that, and I felt like I was definitely underqualified at the time. Seeing everybody just perform their broadcast and the way that she handles live shots is just a double thumbs up. If I had 6 arms, 6 thumbs ups.
He is just too nice. Yeah, it comes with a lot of reps. I mean, you just do it over and over and over again. Practice makes perfect.
There you go. Shout out to Michael Jordan. But either way, so you go from being a rodeo correspondent, being a journalist, and then right when the pandemic, so the coronavirus shutdown, started back in March, where everything went on lockdown, and ever since then it hasn't really been the same. You had a lot of things that happened, so COVID was a big deal, and then you had the George Floyd incident that happened back in Memorial Day weekend, and just endless amounts of protests around the country, and then it just caused a lot of arguments, and it just seemed like a lot of chaos. And knowing that both of us being journalists, knowing that you're a journalist, and knowing that you're actually a big name around here, so she has a following. She does. Check her out. Check her out on Instagram, Twitter, all that. Hey, we'll shout her out towards the end of this. But, just giving y'all a hint. But either way, back to what I was saying. So transitioning with COVID, the Floyd incident, and it just seemed like it was just never ending. So, how did that impact you too? Like going through the COVID pandemic, which we're still in, unfortunately, and the George Floyd incident.
I tried to have a perspective of, here we are. Like I said, nobody knew what was going on. And then, like with things like the George Floyd incident and everything, we had all of these opportunities to really come together. And that's how I saw it, is how can we use these things, however people felt about it one way or another, but what can we find the common ground, and how can we get people to just really come together? Because I think that is a big part of our job is, I always tell, I'm Angelo State alum. I speak to the classes there, the journalism classes, and I always tell them, if you don't go into journalism wanting to help people, then you're going in for the wrong reason. And you just need to get out now. Because that's one of our main goals, is to really help people, is to relay that information, whether it's about a pandemic or the meteorologist with the weather, tornadoes, like get inside. That's our main goal, is to help people. And so I tried to just keep that mindset of how can we use this to help people, and what can I do to give people a platform to say, you know what, we have all these things that, you could look at it and say, oh, well, you need to take a stand one way, this way, that way. But how can we give those people who say, you know what, we need to come together and fix this and communicate and try to learn from each other? Those are the people that I tried to seek out, because people need hope. How go to any movie or TV show or anything, that's one of the main components, is there has to be hope. And you relate to these characters, you relate to these people because somehow you feel connected to them, and they give you hope, or this movement gives you hope, or this, character, or whoever, whatever the case may be, it gives you hope. And we see, in these movies and TV shows and stuff, when all hope is lost, like you just feel so just defeated. But how can we bring that hope back? And so that was really kind of the mindset I had, because you do see a lot of bad stuff in this business. As you know, you've only been in a year, and or been here a year, and you see a lot of bad stuff, but there's always hope. You have to really search it out and really, really look for it and dig for it. And sometimes it's not, easy to see, but once you find it, it gives you even more hope, and you build upon that.
I mean, that was very well said. I mean, I can't really picture anybody saying that any better. I mean, because that's the thing, like, obviously we have to state the facts, and then also helping people out, that's another thing. Yeah. And hopefully that's worked. I mean, there's always going to be somebody that's going to disagree with whatever facts that we put out, but you can't really argue. I mean, if there's facts, I mean, how can you, how do you refute that? So it's like, you look at something like that, it's just, it is what it is. I mean, I don't really take things like that to heart. I mean, I've seen, journalists get, harassed on the internet or whatever it is, and I just feel really bad for them. It's just like, at the end of the day, you can't please everybody. I mean, you told me that too. So you can't please everyone. So you got to do what you can and just move on. And hopefully that more people will understand that it's actually, beneficial towards not only journalists but everybody. I mean, we're actually helping them by giving them news. Like, hey, for example, weather. If there's a tornado warning, then it's up to the meteorologist to provide those facts to you just in case. Say there's a tornado warning issued for Tom Green County or whatever it is, and you need to take cover in this condition, blah, blah, blah. Same with sports. I mean, you're giving out facts for the local, area around here, and then news, obviously, local news. So if there's like a murder, right? Or say there's a robbery or something really bad happens, and then it's up to us to provide that information to everybody to keep everyone safe. Yeah. So, and I've seen a lot of the work you've done, and I've paid close attention to like the news connection, and not just that, even the stuff you put online. I mean, if I get bored, I'll just get on there. I'm like, I'll see what you put, and then I'll just watch it I'll try to, basically learn and try to take heed into what I learned and try to apply it to myself in my own way. And so moving forward, I know I'm talking too much, but moving forward, so you as a journalist, knowing that you entered, you said year 10 pretty much? Or
pretty much, yeah.
So 10-ish? So would you say this year alone stands out the most compared to all of the other years you've worked as a journalist? Knowing that it's 2020?
Yeah, I mean, my first instinct was to say yes, but that's because we're in it right now. If a few years down the line, I probably say, yeah, this is one of the standouts, for sure. But I can think of so many instances that have really shaped me and how I do my job, how I talk to people, why I want to do this, why I keep doing this, glutton for punishment maybe. But yeah, this year I think it's just because it was so different and we all went through something. Like, no matter what it was, we were literally every single person on this planet was going through something. And yeah, I would have to say probably that, as far as realizing the impact, and really opening my eyes to just everything going on, not only in my life, but in other people's, and helping me understand people. I would say, yeah, for those things for sure. And
another thing, whenever we state facts about politics, we know that, I'm not trying to get into politics, but you know how obviously we had to report the election, especially here, the coverage here in Concho Valley, and you did live shots that day. Yeah. So a bunch of them, actually.
15.
Yeah. And she survived, and she did a great job, just letting y'all know. But now that's another tricky topic, because people might not agree with one side and say they agree with a different side, and it's like, so how did it feel to cover the elections here and doing, and especially conducting 15 live shots? How did it feel to do
that? I don't know if there's enough time to explain it. No, so something that I did talk about this with someone else earlier is profiling the candidates. Yeah, we have to look at, their policies and what they plan to do and how they believe this and that and what they think. And yeah, that's obviously, you have to have that. That's very important. But something I tried to do this year, given the climate that we're in, kind of a divisive one at the moment, I try to make them seem human, because, at the end of the day, we're all human. So I asked for pictures of them and their family. I asked them, like, hey, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite color? If you could be an animal, what would you be and why? Just because my point in doing that was, like, okay, I may not agree with you politically, but you know what? I like steak too, and I like dogs too, or whatever the case may be. Just seeing each other as humans, not just well, you're on this side, well, you're on this side, and really seeing each other as people, because we are.
Yep. Again, well said. I wish more people could see that, but it is what it is. But like I said, that's another reason why I had her on the show, because he says nothing but positive things, and it's rare to find somebody like Senora, because she's always smiling, always happy, and
you're just too nice.
Even if she's not happy, it doesn't show, so I wouldn't know. So she probably listens to that song by Pharrell every day, so probably what's going on. But
Pharrell.
Yep. But I guess to carry on, so what do you expect next? Because knowing that we all survived this, obviously we survived 2020, and 2021 may not be any different because we're still in the pandemic. But what would you say you have learned from this journey from January 1st all the way to the end of the year?
Kind of just what I already said. Everybody in the world is, first of all, a human. They have feelings, and we all have feelings, and we all have stuff that we're going through. And like you said, if I wasn't happy, you wouldn't know, and so if we don't tell people our problems, which we don't, a lot of people, they don't go around and talk about the problems, but each one of us has something that we're dealing with. So really understanding, I think this year has really taught me, to really understand that and to see that and to realize that. And, those people who are on opposite sides of the spectrum, they're happy all the time. They seem like they have the perfect life, or over here on this end, they're just full of hate, and they're the haters in the comments, they have stuff going on. And those are the people, really all of us, we we need to understand that and realize that the people who are probably throwing the most hate out are the ones who need the most love. And I mean, I'm not perfect. I've had my moments where I'm like, you know what? Stop. You know, don't say that. Like, and I'll block people or I'll, you know, like, of course, we all have those moments. We're all human, but just really seeing each other for humans and as humans, and that we all have things that make us think the way we do and make us act the way we do. We all have our own experiences, and really trying, instead of to be defensive, like, oh, well, why did you say that? Help me understand why you said that. You know, how can I fix me? You know, what did I say or what did I do to make you say that? You know, what's your history with that? And really understanding people and asking those types of questions to get down to the real problem, because we're not the problem. You know, we're not each other's problem. There's a lot of other things going on in here and in here that make us, you know, have built us and shaped us. The other person doesn't know that. You know, so if we don't share that and kind of really be self-aware of ourselves and what we've been through, we take it out on other people. So really coming to that understanding that it's, you know, they may have snapped at me, but it's probably not me. It's probably not because of me. It's probably something else, and something triggered it. So I guess just showing grace, really. If I had to boil it down to a word, I would say 2020 taught me grace. And to show it, to give it to other people, to give it to myself.
Yeah, but hopefully nobody can argue with that.
Yeah, hopefully.
And then, so last but not least, I don't know how long we've been going, but like, I guess I'll just ask this, and then if something else pops up, it'll pop up. So last but not least, what are your goals leading into the new year?
Survive. No, I'm just kidding. I guess just kind of, you know, a lot of people, I may have a different mindset. A lot of people want to just forget this year and just move on and just go and just not ever think about it again. But I want to remember it. I want to remember it for the good things, you know, like grace that it's taught me, and remember, you know, how there were times, we as, you know, as Americans, as everybody, you know, we were at each other's throat, but there were also times where we had each other's back, you know, and there were times that we were so united and the world was so united for some things that, you know, again, holding on to that hope. And it seemed like a hopeless year, but if you look hard enough, it was full of hope.
Another thing. Always looking at the glass half full instead of half empty. I agree with that. I agree. It's been one heck of a year, that's for sure. One heck of a year. So I'm just grateful that I still have a job. I'm grateful that met some amazing people like you along the way.
Same.
So it's just honestly a blessing to be in a position like this, because you don't know what the future holds, and you just got to keep. I'm not a preacher, but like keep going. Have faith in yourself and the ones that you work with, and you know, hope you guys can work to a common goal.
Yeah.
So I guess that's all I had to say. So do you have any extra thoughts you'd like to provide?
Just be nice to everybody. You know, just be nice. We could solve a lot of problems by just being nice. No matter what, just be nice. Share a smile. You never know who needs it.
Again, amen to that, right? So now I'm going to say this. So I did bring it up earlier. I did bring up social media. So follow Senora on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, pretty much anywhere. So go ahead and drop your tags.
It's pretty easy. Just Senora Scott, SENORA SCOTT. If you just put that in on all the places, you'll find me.
You heard the woman, so definitely give her a follow. Check out her content. Yeah. So, again, this is another episode of the Mark Brown Show / Lowdown Podcast. More episodes will be coming out in 2021. I got some big projects coming soon, so be ready for some more big names out there. You know, about to take off just like, you know, take off the rapper off of Migos. So there you go.